Women, do you have this problem with your husbands? Focus, focus.
I'm focusing. Let me get the drill out.
Oh my God, we can't finish one conversation. Wow, that is a very nice beach. Whoa! God, my phone almost went flying in the water. Son of a I just hit my head again. This is going to be very interesting. I'm really nervous right now. Not gonna lie. And now, part 2. Here's a prime example of something you only do once. I think it's tangled. It's wrapped around the boom, and he already put it up. That means he's gonna have to take it all back down again and start over. Yep. I know, that's what I just said. Wrapped around. In the battle between man and mainsail, who will emerge victorious? We're learning. I wish I knew how to turn the motor down to go slower. I don't know how to do it.
You're gonna have to hold it.
Alright, so I figured out how to turn the throttle thingy. Now I just need to make sure I don't crash into any boats and I can't see anything. But I turned it down so we can slow down. We're in 35-ish feet. And there's no boats around us.
You're gonna have to hold this so it doesn't flop everywhere.
Okay. Earlier we saw the sail suddenly flop down over me, almost causing my phone to fly overboard. That was because he let go of the ropes holding it together around the boom so he could begin to feed the slugs up the track of the mast to hoist the sail up. Except in that kind of wind, we're lucky it didn't blow overboard into the salt water, which would have been a really terrible way to end our first sail day. So while we're both nearing a meltdown trying to get the mainsail up, I'll explain a few things. Our marina is in a waterway that feeds into the Port Royal Sound. When you reach the mouth of the sound, that waterway suddenly opens up and the wind comes at you full force. So this is really not the ideal place to start putting your sail up, as can be evidenced by the last few minutes of this episode. We would have had more success had we first slowed the motor down while still in the waterway south of the sound. Then we could have put the keel down and started hoisting the sail while still in calmer water with lesser wind. Of course, it goes without saying, again, that the pop top should not have been up and we should have prepped the sails before leaving our slip. That chapter of our sailor life was a super great lesson in what not to do. P.S. The first of many great lessons that we've learned along the way. We're not going in a circle. I'm trying to get closer to shore.
Hold on, I gotta lift the motor up, okay? But keep it right there.
Okay. Oh, you're lifting it completely out of the water? No motor, no radio. Sails up. No jib, but that's okay. We gotta start small. We're moving.
Yeah. What's that noise? Here?
Yeah, it's coming from Paris Island.
Yeah.
It's not coming from our boat. I'm gonna go check, make sure there's no water anywhere. Oh no, it's coming from our boat. What is that? That is a weird noise.
What's the depth say? You know what it is?
43 feet?
You know what it is?
What?
There's a cable that holds that thing up.
The keel?
The keel, there's a cable that drops it down.
Yeah.
And that's what's vibrating.
Is that normal then?
I don't know. That whole thing's vibrating.
Yeah, I don't think that's normal.
Let's see if we can get you up.
Whoa.
You hear me?
Yeah. Well, we have to keep an eye on things, okay? It's 2 o'clock. We need to, because remember the weather's going to be bad this afternoon. So, and we still have to.
Just for a second.
And we still have to make it all the way back to the marina. So I'm thinking we start small. But that's just me. The zigzag. Oh, there you go. Now it stopped.
It's less resistance on it.
Did you see the GPS zigzag from me turning all over the place? Well, because I felt like we were going too far away from shore. I want to stay within a reasonable swimmable distance, and right now we are not in a reasonable swimmable distance. I think it's pretty obvious which way the wind is coming. We're changing direction, so the wind will come to our port side now because I don't want to get too far away in case there were supposed to be bad storms this afternoon, and so we've been keeping an eye on things because we didn't want to put the jib up and get too far away on our first try solo. So storms are way south past Savannah. They don't seem to be coming this way, so we're gonna go ahead and put the jib up because it's beautiful out here, but I still don't want to get too far away. So we, and by we I mean Donovan, decided we would not start slow with just the main and started to put up the jib. Okay, so whatever, it was a nice day, it wasn't too windy, we had things under control, but we should still have done some prep work while still docked if we were going to use the jib. The jib snap hanks are these little metal doohickeys that clip onto the front stay, and those can be clipped prior to pulling out of the slip. The jib sheets can also already be pulled aft to the cockpit and set through the pulley around the winches and into the cam cleats. It's good wind. I would tell you how many knots, but I have no idea how to read it on that thing. I think we're at a standstill. I don't think we're moving. Ah, it started. It's.
Hold on.
Okay.
If your line needs to go, you said everything on both sides.
Yep. Is there a way to make this cue like
Stay in the middle?
stay in the middle?
No. Yes. There is, but we don't have anything.
There is a device called the tiller tamer or a tiller lock, and I will put a couple of links below this video. Alright, so I'll just wait till you throw it to me. Which side are you throwing first? This side?
Doing this side first. Now, wrap it through that little hook.
Okay, try to keep up. The jib sheets need to go on the outside of all the shrouds and stanchions aft to the winches so that the jib sheets, which are tied in through the clew on the jib, can be pulled to the outside to open up the jib fully and invite the wind to move your boat forward. For those of you who have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, I will translate. The ropes, which are tied to the hole on the back end of the sail, have to go on the outside of the wires and metal sticks that are poking out of the boat so that the sail can open up wide when the wind hits it, thus pushing the boat forward. This image shows 3 holes on the sail where something attaches. The top hole, or the head, is clipped to the jib halyard, which pulls it up the forestay. The hole at the bottom front is called the tack, and it is attached to the hull of the boat. The hole at the bottom rear of the sail is called the clew, and that is where the jib sheets are tied and then taken aft to the winches in the cockpit. I'm trying. Did that make any sense? Because if it didn't, welcome to my world. Okay, now we need to find the wind. Now it's dead. We finally get the jib up and now the wind completely died. I'm gonna find us some wind. Where's the little doohickey? Okay, so if we go this way and turn this way, you know what? We need to let go of this whatever this back one is called. Loosen it so that they're both parallel to each other. See, I want the mainsail to be parallel to this one. So we need to loosen it with that thing. There we go. Okay, we'll learn the terminology at some point.
Now the
I would do a little bit more so we could, cause see how the wind, see the arrow all the way up there? I want, the wind's coming from there and I want both sails.
see the tail.
There, see, now we're starting to move. Look at that.
We could probably run out. Let out some of them.
If you do, then we need to do the mainsail also. Then you gotta let the mainsail out too so they're parallel to each other. We are sailing.
Just turn around, okay? You can go out that way.
Okay. Oh, well, we need to do the jibs too then. You got it. You can take it off of the winch.
Need more?
It just depends which way you want to go. It only seems to do the vibrating noise when we're headed towards Paris Island. When we're headed back towards home, it doesn't do the vibrating noise. How many knots now?
It seems like we're going faster now. Feel it.
I know.
I don't think that's right.
Just the two of us with our mainsail and our jib up. Our homemade autopilot. Uh-oh, we're turning really fast.
It's going with the wind.
Our autopilot is making us... Worth every penny. Worth every penny out of our retirement fund. Enjoying our last 2 days of freedom before we have to go to the corn state. Is it a corn? No, what's Iowa? Potato? No, that's Idaho.
Iowa.
Is Iowa, what's Iowa?
Iowa's corn.
Corn. Whatever it is. We're on our way there.
Nebraska are the
In 2
corn
days.
huskers.
We're not going to Nebraska.
You see our trays too. We're jibbing and jabbing.
Jibbing and jabbing.
Whatever it's called.
We be jibbing.
Jabbing.
I don't know, babe. We need to learn a lot of terminology. I call it the zigzag. This is more like it. It's too rough. We're cruising now.
So far, the fastest we've been was 4.6.
Should the jib sheets be that way on the outside of the stays? Because every time we pull on them, they keep rubbing up against the stays.
Do you need some help?
As you can see, my jib takedown abilities are not quick. I had to get my footing to stand on a moving, floating space about the size of a yoga mat, with an open hatch to either fall into or at the very least trip over. Then I had to pull down the jib sail while holding the halyard, while pulling in the jib sheets, while stuffing the sail in the hatch to avoid it falling in the water. Can you let go of the jib sheet, please? It was not pretty and I was not elegant, but I eventually kicked its ass and took down names. Literally everything we did on this day of our first sail took several minutes, and I mean several minutes. The total combined footage I had on video just for today's sail was well over 3 hours. You can imagine how much I spliced in order to get 40 or so minutes part 1 and part 2 of episode 11 took. Unwrapping the mainsail off the boom prior to hoisting it up took 20 to 30 minutes alone. Fighting me and fighting me and fighting me. It wants to slam into my rib cage. It's hard to hear with our GoPro, but the rudder was pulling really hard with the current, so the tiller kept coming towards me, and it was all I could do to push it away from me to keep us in a straight trajectory. Putting the jib down proved to be a bit overwhelming for me, and it is the smaller of the two sails. The mainsail is enormous, and there really is no way to just quickly throw it into the cabin like I threw the jib sail into the front hatch. The other problem was that the track the slugs slide in and out of needs oil because they are next to impossible to lower to the bottom of the track to remove the sail from the mast. The sail comes off the mast, but it does not come off the boom, so it needs to be wrapped up. Note he not only brought the sail down, rolled it up, and tied it up, he also put the sail cover back on. Perhaps in the future it would be easier and safer had we just lowered the sail and tied it up so as to avoid it flying into the water, and then just putting it all away nicely once docked safely back in our slip. Made it home safe and sound from our first trip out alone. It was a little nerve-wracking because we were scared to, I was scared to leave the slip because the current was so strong. And then while we were out there, we had a good old time, and then all of a sudden the clouds turned black, and we very quickly brought the jib down, and then the main sail got stuck. What did you have to do to get it unstuck finally? The main sail. Did you just yank really hard, or did something get stuck?
No, I just had to pull it.
So I was a little scared there for a minute because I was trying to steer us back to the dock with the tiller and looking at the GPS to make sure that we didn't run aground. And for the normal average sailor, that's probably very easy, but it's a little nerve-wracking. And then Donovan brought the sailboat in forward into here. No, backwards. Sorry, he brought it in backwards and backed right into the spot. We didn't crash into anything. We came right in. All was good. Really proud. Proud of myself, but more so proud of him. Could never do this by myself, that's for damn sure. It was so much fun though. Back at it tomorrow for another fun-filled day, and then we go to work. We gotta earn that money so we can fix this boat. Right, I wanted to check the little boo-boo on our slider, which you can't even tell it's there anymore. Donovan put white duct tape on it so it wouldn't leak into the cabin, and it looks fantastic. Ooh, we need to clean this boat tomorrow though. It is from our shoes yesterday, I think, because we've got white bottom shoes today. Cool, cool. Nighty night. See you tomorrow morning.